Think your S-Class is cutting edge? Think Tesla owns the future? China just dropped 5 luxury sedans that make German flagships look like they're stuck in 2015. We're talking 900-volt charging, drive-by-wire chassis, quad-motor monsters, and cabins that feel like sci-fi movie sets, all for prices that'll make your wallet question everything. This is our top 5 countdown, and trust me, number 1 is absolutely unhinged. Hit subscribe, because this is going to sting. Let's kick this off with a car that literally glows and talks back to you. Number 5. Hi-Fi Z. Picture this. You're walking down the street, and a sedan rolls past that looks like it escaped from a Blade Runner set. It's not just the shape, it's the fact that the car is literally messaging you with thousands of LEDs built into its body. Welcome to the Hi-Fi Z, the Chinese luxury sedan that doesn't just turn heads, it starts conversations with pedestrians. This thing is a full electric luxury machine from Human Horizons, and it's designed to feel like a rolling concept car that somehow made it to production. We're talking dual-motor all-wheel drive cranking out around 672 horsepower and 820 newton-meters of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, done in 3.8 seconds. That's quicker than most German performance sedans, and we haven't even gotten to the weird stuff yet. Open the doors. Actually, wait for them to open themselves, and you'll notice they're rear-hinged suicide doors that swing out electrically. It's theater-grade drama every time you park at the grocery store. Inside, you're greeted by a 15-inch OLED screen mounted on a robotic arm. Yes, a robotic arm. This screen can swivel toward the driver or the passenger, literally choosing who it wants to talk to. It's like the car has a personality, and honestly, it kind of does. The exterior is where Hi-Fi Z goes full spaceship mode. It's got what they call the Star Ring ISD system, around 4,066 programmable LEDs integrated into light strips across the body. These aren't just for show. The car can display text, animations, icons, even playful messages to people outside. Imagine pulling up and your car greeting someone by name or warning a pedestrian that you're about to reverse. It's equal parts genius and gimmick, but you can't deny it makes every other sedan look boring. Now let's talk size and aero. The Z stretches 5,036 millimeters long, just over 2 meters wide, and sits low at around 1,439 millimeters tall. That's close to a Porsche Taycan in footprint, but with way more visual drama. The whole shape is coupe-like with a shooting brake rear, smooth surfaces, and aero-optimized wheels. It's designed to slice through air, and while exact drag numbers vary, this thing is built for efficiency without sacrificing presence. Range comes from a roughly 120 kilowatt-hour battery pack, giving you up to 555 kilometers on the WLTP cycle. That's solid for a performance luxury sedan. DC fast charging peaks around 250 kilowatts, so you're looking at 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes under ideal conditions. Not record-breaking, but more than enough to keep you moving on long trips. Inside, you've got either a 4-seat executive layout or a 5-seat version, depending on trim. The 4-seat setup gives you individual rear lounge chairs with serious adjustment range, perfect if you're being driven rather than driving. Materials lean heavily into the sci-fi lounge vibe. Vegan leather, bright accents, and ambient lighting that syncs with your media. There's also a high-end Meridian-tuned audio system and a panoramic glass roof that makes the cabin feel even more spaceship-like. The tech runs on Hi-Fi's own operating system based on Android, so you get app support, over-the-air updates, and deep customization of lighting and screen behavior. The ADAS suite includes cameras, radars, and likely LiDAR depending on the spec, aiming for level 2 plus automation in China. But honestly, the real party trick here is the exterior LED messaging. Your Model S can't do that. Here's where rival brands start sweating. The Hi-Fi Z is priced around 610,000 yuan in China, which converts to roughly 85,000 US dollars. That's similar money to a well-spec'd Porsche Taycan 4S or a Tesla Model S, but with far more visual drama and gadget overload. You're not buying this for raw performance per dollar. You're buying it because you want to be the person whose car literally talks to the world. Of course, there are questions. Human Horizons is a new brand, so long-term reliability data is limited. Some owners report solid build quality, but the sheer complexity of the tech means you're taking a bit of a gamble. And if this thing ever tried to enter Western markets, regulators would probably have a field day with data privacy concerns, given the amount of external scanning and connectivity packed in. But let's be real, next to this, your Model S looks like a rental appliance. The Hi-Fi Z is the closest thing to driving a concept car down a normal street, and it's already on Chinese roads, doing its LED light show thing every single day. LED tricks are cool, but what if your phone company built a supercar? Number 4. Xiaomi SU7. Your phone makes calls, your tablet streams, shows, your smart speaker controls your lights, and now your phone brand just built a sedan that accelerates like a Porsche and costs less than a base BMW. This is the Xiaomi SU7, and it's proof that tech companies might be better at building the future of cars than actual car companies. Xiaomi's first car is a large electric sedan designed to plug seamlessly into the Xiaomi ecosystem. Phones, tablets, smart home, the whole deal. It's powered by HyperOS, the same software running on your Xiaomi devices, so your car literally feels like an extension of your pocket. But this isn't some glorified gadget on wheels. The top trims, the Max and Ultra, are packing serious heat. Dual motors cranking out around 640 to 673 horsepower, with 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in roughly 2.78 seconds. That's Tesla Model S Plaid territory, except the SU7 starts at 215,900 yuan. That's around 30,000 US dollars. For a sedan that outruns most German performance cars. Let that sink in. The SU7 measures about 4,997 millimeters long, making it close to a Tesla Model S or BMW 5 Series in size. It's big enough to feel premium without being a land yacht, and it's slippery. Xiaomi claims a drag coefficient around 0.195, which puts it among the most aerodynamic sedans on the planet. The styling is a blend of Porsche Taycan and Tesla Model 3 vibes, with smooth surfaces, muscular fenders, and a techie light signature. The rear fastback and full-width light bar give it a sporty, modern look that's clearly aimed at younger, tech-savvy buyers who want something that feels fast even when it's parked. Step inside and you're greeted by a 16.1-inch central touchscreen, a massive 56-inch head-up display, and a compact digital instrument cluster. Some higher trims even offer optional passenger displays. The UI is pure Xiaomi HyperOS, giving you that continuity experience. Same design language, same account login, same app ecosystem you're already used to. You can control your My Home smart devices directly from the car, stream content, sync settings across devices, and use your phone as the key. It's like your entire digital life just moved into your car. In higher trims, the cabin uses synthetic leather, aluminum look trim, and minimalist lines. It's more Tesla or Polestar minimal than old-school luxury, but with enough softness to feel premium. Physical controls are limited. Most interaction happens through the screen or voice commands. The Xiaomi Pilot driver assist stack includes multiple cameras, radars, and optional LiDAR, aiming for level 2 plus automation in China. It's not quite full self-driving, but it's aggressive and capable. Now let's talk power and range. The base SU7 is a single-motor rear-wheel drive setup with decent power, around 220 to 250 kilowatts, and long range. The Max and Ultra variants? Dual-motor all-wheel drive, with 475 to 495 kilowatts. That's where the 640-plus horsepower comes from. Multiple battery sizes are available, with the top pack sitting around 100-plus kilowatt-hours. Range on the CLTC cycle hits 700 to 830 kilometers depending on trim, and thanks to the 800-volt architecture, DC fast charging is insanely quick. Xiaomi has showcased over 400 kilowatts of charging power under ideal conditions. In real-world terms, that means grabbing a coffee and coming back to hundreds of kilometers of range added. The chassis is a dedicated EV skateboard with a low center of gravity, multi-link rear suspension, and performance-oriented tuning. It's got the bones to handle all that power, and the suspension keeps things planted even when you're pushing hard. The 3,000mm wheelbase gives generous rear legroom, and the big trunk is typical fastback sedan flexibility, likely with split folding rear seats for extra cargo. Here's the kicker. The top Max and Ultra trims are still under 300,000 yuan, which is roughly 40 to 45,000 US dollars depending on exchange rates. That's Model 3 long-range money in China, but with performance and range closer to a Model S. You're getting HyperOS ecosystem integration, high-end screens, 800-volt charging, and supercar acceleration, all included where many Western cars charge extra or don't offer it at all. Of course, there are concerns. Xiaomi is a new automaker, so crash test data is still rolling out. They don't have the safety brand equity of Volvo or Mercedes yet, and because this car is effectively a rolling Xiaomi device, Western regulators would probably raise data privacy questions, location data, driving patterns, the whole surveillance conversation. For now, the SU7 is focused on the Chinese market, but the what if this came to Europe or the US question is impossible to ignore. If you could buy this for $40,000, would you still consider a Model 3 or a base BMW? That's the question keeping legacy brands up at night. Speed is addictive, but what if your car doubled as a home theater? Number 3, Stelato S9. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, your kids are bored in the back, so you hit a button, and a 32-inch projector screen drops from the ceiling, turning your rear cabin into a private cinema. You're not imagining the future. You're sitting in the Stelato S9, and this thing is basically a rolling home theater that also happens to travel over 1,000 kilometers on a single tank and pimped battery. The Stelato S9 is a full-size luxury sedan built by BAIC Blue Park with Huawei handling the tech, and it's part of the Harmony Intelligent Mobility Alliance. It's positioned to go head-to-head with the Mercedes EQS, BMW 7 Series, and Nio ET9, but with a party trick none of them can touch: that massive rear projector screen. It's pitched as an executive sedan that blends electric and range extender powertrains with insane in-cabin tech, and honestly, it might be one of the most entertainment-focused luxury sedans on the planet. Let's talk size first. The S9 measures around 5,160 millimeters long with a wheelbase just over 3,000 millimeters. That's solidly in the executive luxury sedan segment, slightly shorter than the absolute largest F-segment flagships, but still roomy enough to compete with the EQS and 7 Series. Width is just under 2 meters, height around 1.48 meters. It's not trying to be a spaceship, it's aiming for elegant flowing lines with a fastback-like silhouette. And it's aerodynamic as hell. With digital side mirrors, the S9 claims a drag coefficient of 0.193, which is one of the leading figures among production sedans globally. The front fascia is smooth, with a largely closed nose, typical EV and range extender design, discreet lower intakes, and a long hood that flows into the roofline. Signature DRL and slim headlight designs give it a modern, premium look, with a full-width rear light bar tying everything together. The styling tries to hit that futuristic but not weird sweet spot, more EQS or i7 than hi-fi style spaceship territory. Inside is where the S9 goes full cinema mode. Up front, you've got a 12.3-inch instrument display and a 15.6-inch central touchscreen running Harmony OS 4, Huawei's operating system. Dual 50-watt wireless charging pads for your phone sit in the center console, because of course they do, but the real magic happens in the rear. The armrest houses a 13.2-inch tablet for seat and media control, and then there's the star feature, that 32-inch roof-mounted projection screen that drops down from the ceiling. It's a private cinema on wheels, turning the rear cabin into a lounge where passengers can watch movies, join video calls, or just enjoy content in a way no other sedan offers. The rear seats are zero-gravity lounge chairs with heating, ventilation, and massage functions. The front passenger seat can even fold forward to become a footrest for the right rear VIP passenger, which is peak chauffeur-grade luxury. Materials are high-grade leather and soft-touch surfaces throughout, with ambient lighting integrated into the doors and car dash. Harmony OS 4 syncs seamlessly with Huawei's ecosystem, smartphones, tablets, cloud services, so you can mirror apps, share data, and control your smart home directly from the car. Over-the-air updates are expected, meaning the S9 will keep evolving in software just like a Huawei phone or tablet. Now let's talk range and powertrains. The pure EV version offers over 700 kilometers of CLTC range on a battery pack that's likely around 100 kilowatt hours. The range extender EREV variants, they claim WLTC range around 1,085 to 1,170 kilometers combined, with roughly 200 kilometers of pure electric city use before the petrol engine kicks in as a generator. That means you can drive from Shanghai to Beijing without range anxiety, using mostly electric power for daily city driving and only waking up the engine on long highway trips. Power outputs vary by trim. Single or dual motor setups in the 300 to 500 plus horsepower range, with 0 to 100 times likely around 5 to 7 seconds, depending on configuration. It's not a performance monster like the U7 or SU7, but it's tuned for comfort and smooth, quiet cruising. The chassis uses advanced multi-link suspension and adaptive dampers, combined with that low drag coefficient and long wheelbase to deliver a gliding cinema feel rather than a driver's car. Here's where it gets interesting. The price in China sits roughly in the 400,000 to 600,000 yuan bracket, which is under 90,000 US dollars. That undercuts many fully loaded EQS or 7 Series models while offering that unique projector theater experience and Harmony OS integration. For tech-savvy Huawei fans, the S9 is basically a giant Harmony OS device you can sit inside, syncing with your entire digital ecosystem. Of course, Huawei's involvement raises questions. Western regulators have already flagged concerns around Huawei telecom gear, and those worries could extend to cars, especially with Harmony OS, multiple cameras, and network connectivity baked in. Long-term reliability is still a question mark since Blue Park and Huawei are building experience with other collaborations, but this specific model is brand new. Your S-Class doesn't have a 32-inch cinema screen dropping from the roof. The Stelato S9 does, and it'll still take you over 1,000 kilometers without stopping. A cinema is impressive, but what if 4 motors made physics optional? Number 2. BYD Yangwang U7, 750 words. What if I told you there's a Chinese sedan with over 1,280 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 2.9 seconds, a drag coefficient that rivals the most aerodynamic cars on Earth, and a turning radius tighter than some compact hatchbacks, all for under $100,000? You'd probably think I'm lying, but the BYD Yangwang U7 exists, and it's making every Tesla Plaid and Mercedes EQS owner question their life choices. This is BYD's first ultra-luxury sedan under their Halo Yangwang brand, and it's built to challenge the absolute top tier: EQS, BMW i7, Nio ET9, Model S Plaid. It uses BYD's E to the power of 4 platform, which means 4 electric motors, one at each wheel, delivering up to 960 kilowatts of power. That's roughly 1,287 horsepower and 1,680 newton meters of torque. The sprint to 100 kilometers per hour, done in 2.9 seconds flat. That's supercar performance wrapped in a long, full-size luxury sedan. Top speed hits 270 kilometers per hour. This thing is a tuxedo-wearing monster. Let's talk size and aero. The U7 stretches 5,265 millimeters long, just under 2 meters wide, and sits low at 1,517 millimeters tall. The wheelbase is 3,160 millimeters, putting it squarely in full-size F-segment territory, similar to the EQS and i7. But here's where it gets wild. The drag coefficient is around 0.195, one of the lowest of any production sedan. That's achieved through smooth bodywork, hidden sensor integration, aero-optimized wheels, and clean shoulder lines. It's a long, wide, low stance that screams super sedan, but the aero lets it slip through air like a concept car. The design was penned under Wolfgang Egger, who used to run design at Audi, so the U7 looks more German luxury inspired than wild sci-fi. Think long hood, cab rearward profile, strong front face with a closed grille, and intricate lighting. The headlights are slim and aggressive with complex DRL signatures and distinctive animations. The roofline is elegant, fastbackish, but still clearly a sedan. The rear features a full-width light bar, pronounced shoulders, and a sculpted bumper. It's like someone took the clean surfacing of an Audi A8, gave it lucid-style aero, then stuffed 4 motors into it. Inside, the U7 goes full tech lounge. Up front, you've got a 23.6-inch digital instrument cluster plus an AR head-up display, a curved 12.8-inch OLED central infotainment screen, and a 6-inch passenger display. That's all running BYD's new Dialink 150 cockpit system on a 4nm chip. In the rear, there are 2 more 12.8-inch entertainment screens and a central control panel in the armrest. This is effectively 5 screens inside, plus the HUD. Materials are premium, high-grade leather, intricate ambient lighting, and a choice of 4-seat or 5-seat layouts. Front seats offer 20-way electric adjustment, heating, ventilation, shadachin, and massage. The 4-seat variant has individual rear lounge chairs with reclining functions and leg support, clearly targeting chauffeured owners. The tech ecosystem is powered by Dialink, supporting app-like UX, voice control, and deep integration of driver assist status, charging controls, and chassis modes. The driver assistance suite is called God's Eye A under D-Pilot 700, featuring 3 LiDARs, 5mm wave radars, 13 cameras, and dual NVIDIA Orin X chips delivering 508 trillion operations per second of compute. That's the same league as Mercedes Drive Pilot and Tesla FSD hardware and sensor and compute count. Now let's talk power and chassis. The quad motors deliver up to 960 kilowatts. That's the 1,287 horsepower figure. The 135.5 kilowatt-hour LFP blade battery runs an 800-volt architecture with dual charging ports, supporting 500 kilowatt peak DC fast charging. 10 to 80%, about 20 minutes. BYD claims roughly 500 kilometers of range added in 10 minutes under CLTC conditions. Range on the EV version hits 720 kilometers CLTC, which realistically translates to 450 to 500 kilometers in mixed conditions, still more than enough for long highway drives. The PHEV version uses the same 4-motor setup plus a 2.0-liter turbocharged flat 4 engine as a range extender, paired with a 52.4 kilowatt-hour battery. Combined range? Around 1,000 kilometers. 0 to 100 still happens in 2.9 seconds. The E to the power of 4 platform enables independent control of each wheel motor for torque vectoring, letting the U7 do in-place tank turns, lateral crab movements, and even remain controllable after a high-speed tire blowout. BYD claims the system can keep you stable in those scenarios. The chassis uses Deze Z electromagnetic suspension, an ultra-fast, energy-recovering active system that reacts in about 10 milliseconds. 4-wheel steering allows up to 20 degrees of rear steering, giving the U7 a turning radius of just 4.85 meters. That's tighter than some super minis, absurd for a car this size. Here's the kicker. The U7 is priced between 628,000 and 708,000 yuan in China, roughly 86,500 to 98,000 US dollars. For that money, you're getting quad motors, active electromagnetic suspension, and hypercar acceleration, hardware usually reserved for 7-figure exotics. Compared to a Model S Plaid, the U7 offers similar or greater power, more aero focus, and a significantly more opulent interior at roughly comparable pricing. This is the one that makes Plaid and EQS owners sweat. 4 motors rewrite the rulebook, but what if one car redefined the entire chassis? Number 1, Nio ET9. There's fast, There's luxurious, and then there's the Nio ET9, a Chinese executive flagship that charges at 600 kilowatts, swaps its battery in just over 2 minutes, and rides on a drive-by-wire chassis so smooth it can drive over speed bumps with a tower of champagne glasses on the hood without spilling a drop. This is China's first true land jet, and it's making Mercedes S-Class and BMW 7 Series look like they're stuck in the past. The ET9 is Nio's new executive flagship sedan on the NT 3.0 platform, explicitly positioned as a smart electric executive flagship. It's their S-Class and 7 Series killer, tech showcase, and future tech statement all in one. It's among the first production cars with a full domain 900-volt architecture, supporting up to 600 kilowatts of DC fast charging. Nio claims you can add about 255 kilometers of range in 5 minutes on a compatible charger and swap a 120 kilowatt-hour battery pack in just over 2 minutes at their Gen 4 swap stations. That's 2 different ways to refuel faster than most EVs can even dream of. Let's talk power. The ET9 runs dual motors, 180 kilowatts up front, 340 kilowatts in the rear, for a combined 520 kilowatts, which is roughly 697 horsepower and 700 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour happens in 4.3 seconds, with CLTC range up to 650 kilometers depending on the battery. That puts it right in EQS and i7 territory on power and range, but with charging and chassis tech those cars won't have for years. The headline feature is the Skyride Intelligent Chassis, the world's first drive-by-wire chassis with full active suspension, steer-by-wire, and rear-wheel steering. Nio famously demoed this by driving over bumps with a multi-layer champagne tower on the hood, not a single glass spilled. It's a visual metaphor that's made the rounds online, but the real point is this: the ET9 glides like a maglev train. Heave, pitch, roll. They're all dramatically reduced. Imagine driving over potholes without spilling your coffee, or gliding over broken city roads while your rear passenger joins a video call without the slightest shake. That's the Skyride promise. Size-wise, the ET9 is massive. Length is 5,325 millimeters, width just over 2 meters, height around 1,621 millimeters, and the wheelbase stretches 3,250 millimeters. That's slightly longer than many long-wheelbase European flagships and very close to an S-Class L or EQS in footprint. Many trims offer a 4-seat layout only, which telegraphs chauffeur-grade executive sedan loud and clear. This isn't a family car, it's a mobile office, a rolling boardroom. Nio describes the ET9 as a land jet, emphasizing a long, low, stretched profile with a smooth, almost fastback-like shape, but still clearly a sedan. Big 23-inch forged wheels with polished, liquid metal finishes and subtle laser-etched motifs emphasize the length and give it serious presence. Short overhangs and the huge wheelbase create a cabin moved forward EV stance, similar to the EQS or i7, but with sharper, horizontal lines. The design DNA is pure, human, sophisticated, progressive, with clean surfacing, strong shoulder lines, and a signature horizon belt line, a horizontal character line inspired by the meeting of sky and earth at Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni. Two-tone body options mix a brighter upper section with a deeper lower body, reinforcing that sky and earth concept and making it stand out even among other luxury EVs. Inside, the ET9 is pitched as a mobile first-class suite. Two-tone interior themes separate darker, serious tones up front for command and softer, warmer tones in the rear for comfort. Real wood with aerospace-grade aluminum molecularly inlaid to form the horizon emblem. Direct shot at European craft details. Nio claims nearly 200,000 stitches in the double diamond quilting, indicating a high level of hand finish marketing. There's even a rhodium and black mother-of-pearl emblem, crafted in 36 steps, used as an exclusive cabin detail. Screens are everywhere. A 15.6-inch central touchscreen, 2 14.6-inch screens on the back of the front seats, and an 8-inch touchscreen in the rear center console for seat, climate, and entertainment control. The whole system runs Nio's SkyOS/Cedar next-gen vehicle operating system, unified for cabin, ADAS, and connectivity. Audio comes from the Lyra 8.2.4.8 sound system with 720-degree immersion, effectively 3D surround tuned to create a bubble around each passenger. For driver assistance, the ET9 uses Nio's Aquila 2.0 smart driving suite, 30-plus sensors, including multiple LiDAR units, high-resolution 8-megapixel cameras, radars, and ultrasonic sensors, feeding into Nio's in-house AD chip. It's positioned as designed for AD, with native sensor packaging rather than add-on pods. Here's where rival brands start sweating. The launch price is around 788,000 yuan in China, roughly 86,000 to 110,000 US dollars, depending on exchange and spec. That's S-Class and 7 Series money, well below Bentley or Rolls-Royce, but with tech like 900-volt charging, 600-kilowatt DC fast charging, battery swapping, and a drive-by-wire chassis they simply don't offer yet. Air suspension, rear-wheel steering, a 4-screen interior, 3D audio, in-house OS, LiDAR AD suite, all baked in instead of costly options. This is what happens when a brand designs a car around software and autonomy first, not a V8 engine. The Nio ET9 is China's answer predecessor to the S-Class, and it's making German flagships look old school on software, chassis tech, and charging. So there you have it, writing the rulebook on speed, tech, charging, and the cabin experience. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe for more Chinese car deep dives, and drop a comment. Which one would you actually buy?